Hello everyone, welcome to another Elliot Wave King presentation. Today, with the help of this chart here, I'm gonna explain to you or guide you how you can effectively draw a trend line and also count the waves on the trend line. Alright, so for this presentation here, we're going to be using the symbol pound USD for this example here, and this is going to help you improve your trading and also your skill set when it comes to trading, because I realized that some of the challenges with many traders are with drawing the trend line. Okay, let me first of all set an example or a scenario for you guys. First is, let's assume we have a trend that goes down like this, and suddenly we have a new formation such as this. All right, so some traders find it difficult to piece what is going on here. Okay, so some traders find it difficult to piece what is going on here. Okay, so let me first of all start with this one here. In this kind of market scenario here, as you can see, that market is making a series of higher highs, higher lows, but more of in the upward boundaries. Okay, so the difference between this one here and this one here. So here we're making higher highs, higher lows on an upper boundary. What I mean is that if we go ahead, put up a trend line here or a structure here, and we could identify that, for example, here we are making this structure on the upper boundaries, but for this one here we are making these higher highs on a lower boundary. You can see right here that this is on a lower boundary. If you go ahead, put up a middle line here, you can see that this is trading inside of a lower boundary, and this one here is trading, we are trading instead of an upper boundaries. Okay, now what happened here is that series of traders, or the whole euro market psychology here is that series of traders actually find price very strong. For this example here, that price is trading in more of an upward channel or in the upper boundaries here. That series of traders find price very strong and very enticing, and they have so much reasons to buy in a very serious amount. Okay, and that's why price forming a little of big push here, starting the structure here, and then it dropped back into the zone. We're seeing that price is currently trading inside of the upper channel. But in this example here, after the initial push to the upside here, creating the very first wave here, that those traders actually buying this currency or this asset here are finding this currency not really enticing, or not really having real reason to buy more of large volume, okay, of these, but they're actually buying, but the quantity or the volume in which they're buying is not as massive as the example A here. Okay, so this happens to form in this formation here. So we see various difference here. So we're looking at, in this example here, we're looking at what could happen over time, okay, in terms of continuation. For a continuation of this kind of example here, we could see that price could also slow down and then form a three-wave move in order to create another leg. Okay, in that way we're going to be having another sort of formation, or we will have to redefine the way we draw our trend line. But in this example here, price oftentimes would want to test the upper boundary. So we can see that possibly if you're looking at this traveling over, let's assume we're traveling over the a 4 hourly, we'll be moving over 4 hourly time frame. We could see that in a particular week that price would move, okay, more faster and hit the upward channel. And at this point, when price hits that upward channel here, we're starting to see some slow. Okay, in this formation here, once price hits this upward channel, then we could be looking at a full reversal from this point on to the downside. But in this example here, majority of the times when price hits back in this structure, we could expect that price could form a little bit of three-wave move, or a zigzag, or a simple corrective wave, and then price will continue making its upside movement to that direction, because the overall trend is actually bullish. Okay, so let me just use this example here and then share with you on this currency here. All right, so we're going to expect that in the beginning of this trend that some traders might have actually started drawing the trend line here, okay, like this. Let's assume you're drawing a trend line like this, and you can actually start looking at these. Okay, so I'm gonna put up a midline on this one here. So we see that looking at this one here, we did start trade in an upper boundary, and then price slowed down, back testing the support here, as you can see nicely, and then price tested back to support on this one. Okay, so after trading around this upper boundary, okay, price tested back to support, move back to resistance, and then we had price slowing down in this, just breaking just below this point here. Now what is going on here, guys? I think what is happening here is actually a corrective pattern here, and then price continued upside here. So for this kind of example, you might want to adjust the way you draw this channel. Okay, I want to adjust the way you draw this channel, and with adjusting this channel here, one of the things I recommend for traders is not to adjust the upper boundary, but rather adjust the lower levels. Now these lower levels here you're adjusting it to the area of the last drop, okay, in that angle. Okay, so in that trend, in that slope. Okay, the angle of slope is to be maintained on the upper boundaries. Also, we have price touching various price levels on the upper boundary, but on the lower boundary we can just go adjusting it to touch these two structure, because with this channel here it's not going to work. Okay, so you just adjust only the lower boundaries for this kind of example here. Okay, so we look at price continuing upside. What is going on here? So I'm going to have to clear, and then V. So as on over time, price continued moving upside. So we can see that price have also gone up to hit this new channel here. Okay, so breaking above this previous structure here. So simply what we have here is actually a break above. Okay, so this is a break above, which simply implies that massive buyers found reason to push price out of this zone. Okay, so once this happens, oftentimes in the market we actually see that price could also shallow a little bit, okay, before maybe continuing its upside direction. So if price does that, one of the things you want to look out for a continuation to upside is after maybe a series of corrective patterns, price would not move very fast. Okay, price would move very slow. This is to induce sellers, okay, to come in and want to sell at that point. Then price will continue upside, and then upside, and then upside, breaking through previous structure and continuing upside. Okay, so price has its way, or the market has its ways of tricking you or deceiving or making you feel that price is actually wanting to do one thing and then doing the other thing, because in a selling market we must have buyers. Okay, in a buying market we must have sellers. So you're going to be buying in a selling market, and then the actual people or the actual market movers are going to be making money from that move. Okay, so they're going to fake you out in order to make a wrong decision, and then they go making the decision, okay, after you actually done the wrong one. Okay, so you want to be fooling what the big monies are doing, and then you want to be doing same. All right. Okay, so let's look at this example and then we continue. I believe you guys are going to learn something new today, and if you're new to this channel, I recommend that you subscribe and also smash on that notification bell on this channel so you'll be getting all the information whenever I post content such as this one. All right, so let's continue on this one here, and as we activate this price continuing upside here, so let's see what happens here over time and how price is adjusting itself into this formation here. All right, so over time we've seen that price have continued to adjust itself and is still continue moving upside. So this is not the best time to start arguing with the market in any way. So what you want to be doing, or what I would recommend, or what I oftentimes do as a trader, either you're going to be drawing a new channel inside an old channel, okay, like this. Let me show you what I do. Sometimes I draw a new channel instead of the previous channel, but this time I'm not going to be having midlines first. Okay, so over time I'm going to have a midline first, so I have a boundary. You want to be trading an uptrend round boundaries, so this is going to help with your sight. Okay, it's going to help you with seeing cleanly. But if we look at this coolly, and then we see what happened here, which means price is actually moving forward. But here, looking at this little formation here, we do not have a definite formation here. So for those of you that have been trading the harmonics, this looks more of a harmonic pattern. this here doesn't fit into an Elliott wave structure, so we just leave it. Okay, let's allow price to continue, and then let's see what happens afterwards. As new price actions develop, we're going to be seeing a reason to take a position. Okay, so now as new price actions develop, what we discovered, or what we have what we have been able to identify here, is that there is a possibility that price could have been dropping back to an A leg here. So I'm going to just go ahead and label this an A leg. I don't know what it is. I'm going to label this an A leg. So I'm going to label this ABC for a B wave here upside. I'm going to waiting for a C. So we're actually looking at the end of the drop of the C wave. Now, whatever we're doing here as traders, we are only making forecast assumptions. Okay, we're only making forecast assumptions and then planning on what is the best scenario the market would most likely move in favor. Okay, so let's allow price to move a little bit, and then let's give it some more weeks, and then let's see what happens here. Now in the more weeks, we've seen that price have also dropped back down, so it just might could be a complete reversal. So we don't know. What I'm going to recommend first is you want to look up for structure. Okay, you want to put up a channel here and then allow price to trade inside of that channel, and you wait until when price breaks out of that channel, then you can actually continue riding that trend to the upside. Okay, so here you're still trading inside the channel there, so there is no real push, and we see that prices also continue going down. So we're going to adjust this C wave, our expectation of the C wave level. We're going to adjust that a little bit, and then we allow price to continue. Now let's look at what is happening here, guys. We're starting to see price moving out of this trend line here. You can see that price is currently moving out of this trend line. As you can see, more sideways movements here, and this is most likely the breakout point. You don't know if it's going to be a breakout point, but one of the things I oftentimes recommend that traders should do, or you can actually put up a pending buy stop. You put your stop loss just below here, and you look to target first the extreme here. Okay, just want to be fast with this recording here because I don't want this taking too long. So you can put up a pending buy stop there, and at the breakout you can adjust it a little bit. Okay, so you can put up a pending buy stop there. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys to see. Okay, so we look at putting pending buy stop there just above the previous highs, and put a stop loss there. All right, so for this kind of example here, you might want to also look left. Okay, you might also want to look left. Where was your previous structure? In our previous structure here, we had supply somewhere around here, so that's where our next target is going to be, somewhere around. Okay, we're going to put our target somewhere around there, and that was where our previous structure was. Okay, we're going to put our target somewhere around there. Let's just play this, and then let's see how price played out. All right, so in our pending order, we were not triggered here, so we're going to wait for a new order here. And if you go down one time frame lower, let's go down one time frame lower. All right, so let me go bring back those structures on a daily time frame. Okay, because what we had was a weekly time frame. This applies to all the time frames. So when you're trading, and when you're planning your trade in this way, this applies to all the time frames, be it in the 1 hourly time frame, be it the 4 hourly time frame, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. This applies. Okay, so what's going on here, guys? What we started to see was price shying away from this structure here. So we don't know if this is actually true, but for price to do this, okay, it means price is shying away from this structure here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adjusting my pending buy stop one more time here. Okay, I'm going to adjust this one more time. For those of you that can actually point out supply area, this is a supply. Okay, I will do another video. I'll try as much as possible to break down how you can point these supply areas out. So I'm going to be staying above the supply area. This is supply area. I'm going to be staying above the supply area, and I want to put my stop loss below this previous low here. So let's look at what happened here. Price continues downside, and I am triggered. Okay, so I am triggered on this trade here. I'm being triggered on this position here, and then my stop loss is somewhere around here. So we can identify. Now we're going to readjust our trend line. Okay, our channel. Okay, we're going to lay assumptions now, and assumptions we are going to be laying first is this going to be our TP1. Okay, going to be TP1. For those of you that want to target the B extreme, the B wave extreme here is also good. You can target that as your TP1 or your TP2, somewhere there. But overall, in information such as this, you want to be targeting at least half of the range. Okay, so what do you mean by half the range? Let's assume that this was the low. Okay, there's a well, this is an assumption right now. This is low area there, and this is the high area there. So we're looking at total distance travel as over the last 100 and 1,722 days here, and we traveled a total of 5,649. Okay, 5,649. So we're going to be looking at half of that range is going to be around here. So we just put up half of that range there, and what we're going to be looking at targeting half of that range is going to be about 2,937. So 2,937 from the low is what we're going to be targeting as our next TP. So 2,937. All right, so this is going to be at most, this is going to be the half of the range. Okay, you want to target the half of the range there, somewhere around there. All right, so let's allow this to play out, and let's see if we hit that target or not. Okay, so we allow price to roll, and then let's see over time. So over time, what we could do in order to back up our decision or our observation, okay, or our forecast, is to adjust this. Okay, so we can adjust this a little bit to but sometimes I do like to clear my chart so I can see cleanly. So I'm going to take out some of these previous structures. Okay, I'll take them out first. I'll allow price to grow with. Okay, so let's see how price continues. But for those of you that can actually wait and then take some crazy targets, you can actually target somewhere beyond this territory here. Okay, so you can target that. All right, so let's allow price to roll, and then let's see what happens. All right, so let's see what happens. We're very close to our take profit area. Okay, so price moving up, moving down. So you can see the slope pace I was talking about in the beginning of the session, or in the beginning of this video here. You can see that price is kind of slowing down and acting really choppy around this area here. So one of the indications that price will reverse is if you see a very huge structure and then price drops back down below, right, or below the daily range or the daily ATR. You can expect that that's a complete reversal. Okay, so if that doesn't happen, you can expect that price will continue further upside to some extent. Okay, so we're very close. So we hit our take profit, as you can see nicely, and then price will continue slow. So for those of you that want to target wild areas and then expect price to still continue further upside, you can actually do that. But this is one of the ways you can readjust your chart and then plan your trade effectively. Okay, so this is not really Elliott wave concept alone. This is me actually looking at chart and being able to understand how this works. Okay, so this is how you can plan your trade, and then you can trade your plan effectively. All right, so see you next time. Subscribe, like, and also share these videos with friends. I believe it's going to help more of the traders that are actually struggling to get a breakthrough in their trading journey to make it big in trading. See you next time. I love you guys.